Welcome back to episode 2 of Hear Us Out.
I'm Cassidy.
And I'm Julia. And today we are going to be talking about the struggles of being a woman.
It's a struggle sometimes.
It is a struggle. So, hear us out. Men especially, hear us out, okay?
Hear us. Girls, make your men watch this video.
We have a lot to say, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, first off, let's give little updates. What's happening in your life right now?
Not a lot going on, just stay-at-home mom. Life's pretty chill these days. I've been posting on my TikTok. That's fun. Got a lot of followers. Started out at 30. Now we have, I think, 80.
She does a lot of garden content, a lot of homestead stuff, family stuff. It's pretty good. I'm proud of her. She's becoming an influencer.
Oh, thank you. Kind of cringy, honestly, because I don't normally do that stuff, so...
Yeah, but
we'll grow.
We're
going to be
just
growing.
Do it.
Yeah. Yesterday's was really embarrassing to post, but I just posted it anyways.
No, I love that. So, you're doing great.
How about you?
I don't think I said this last time, but Jack and I bought a house, and we go and see it every week, see what's going on, and we are very excited to move in there in the next couple months. So then we will actually have a podcast room set up in my office so that we are not sweating outside. So looking forward to that. That's pretty much the big life update is we bought a house it's been a couple months, but
it's currently being built.
It's currently being built. Should be done in a couple months. Yeah, I think that's it.
It's exciting stuff.
Very exciting. So, struggles of being a woman. I feel like there's a lot of different layers to women, and there's a lot of different levels of struggles for women. So, I have 3 different levels I wrote down. So, there's a lot in each, and I'm going to get Cassidy's opinion on all of them. And I'm sure she'll have a lot to say. Level 1, peeing. We can't just go and pee on a tree.
Ugh, I know. Can't just whip it out and go.
Yeah. We literally have to strip naked from the bottom down and squat. Or else we're peeing all over ourselves.
That is such a struggle.
I know.
It's just a frustrating one. When we would go fishing, Jake would literally just go off the side of the boat. And I'm like, okay. So now when I have to do a balancing game off the edge of the boat, try not to fall in or dip my butt cheeks into the water, or somehow splatter all over my clothes.
Yeah.
And then I can't wipe, because what are we doing? So then you're just trying to let it drip and air dry, and then if you don't want to sit there for forever, you just pull your britches up, and then the dribbles get into your undies, and then you're uncomfortable because you're damp from your pee.
Yeah, pretty much. Or you're trying to jump onto an island of oysters and pee out there, but then you're sinking into the pluff mud, and then your boots fill with water and mud, and yeah, the struggle of being a woman. Next on that level 1, I have obviously choosing outfits for your body type. We come in many shapes and sizes, curvy, not curvy, boobs.
No boob.
Boobs is a struggle. Let's just say that. Butt, no butt. Dressing for your body type, I would say, is difficult because men throw on a shirt, throw on pants, done.
Yeah. Most men, I feel have a very basic foundation of clothing, and I think we could probably guess what it is. It's a basic tee in a neutral color and a basic pair of athletic shorts in a neutral color.
Yeah.
Usually black. And it's a go-to for guys.
Yep.
Jake wears it, Jack wears it, a lot of the other guy friends in our lives wear some sort of variation of that.
Yes. Or it's a polo and pants.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Whereas ours is a lot more complicated. And because our bodies are also changing. It's never exactly the same. So it's
yeah. Am I bloating today?
Yeah. It really does affect the outfit that you choose. So one outfit that worked last week might not work this week because I'm bloated and I feel gross.
Yeah. And don't get me started on nice events, finding the perfect dress for your body type, going to weddings, going to banquets, whatever you're doing in like fancy outfits. I struggle so much to find good dresses that fit my body type, and oh my gosh,
Your
my
body type.
my body type, my body's fighting, you know.
It's fighting me.
It really does. So finding a dress that fits my body type that I feel confident and beautiful in.
And this is also like why online shopping is so hard for women, because not only do brands not always like they're not always the same size. So what is a size 2 for one brand is a completely different size in another brand. Like it doesn't always fit the same. And it's like what looks good on the model, when you put it on your body, you're like, wait, what happened? I'm so confused. And so it's so frustrating. It's a struggle.
I think they're doing a lot better with diverse models and body types.
They are.
But there's just like sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is a really cute outfit, but I can't tell if it will fit my boobs because the model wearing it is a size cup A or something. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yes. Actually, this happened recently. Joya bought an outfit for her.
Yeah.
Super cute. We are basically the same size. We weigh about the same, and we're about the same height, but she's curvy and I'm not curvy.
Yeah. And that's a good point too. That is crazy how it's like we are the same height, we are the same weight, but like we look completely different.
We do. And she bought an outfit that she was like, oh my gosh, I love it. But she just didn't like it for her body type. Like the boobs just didn't fit.
The long skirt didn't look good on my curves, but like she put it on and she looked great in it, like so cute. Loved it for her.
Sorry.
She looked so good. Happy that like if one of us can't wear an item, like the other can, which is usually really good. So,
even though I thought it was cute on you, like I think the skirt was still cute.
Yeah, the skirt was still cute, but like the set
I get it,
was like,
I do get it.
Yeah. Getting ready for women, doing makeup, doing hair, trying to look perfect.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a process.
Yeah.
Even if you do like minimal, it's still a process. Whereas men literally shower, get out of the shower, maybe they'll put a little product in their hair.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Whereas, like, I really don't do a lot of makeup. I know you don't wear a lot of makeup.
Not too much.
And we don't really do a lot with our hair usually. But just the simple act of, like, having to put my face together and have my hair look decent. It's just,
Making sure your legs are shaved. Your armpits.
The worst.
Shaving. Shaving is... Wow.
We're hairy right now.
I am extremely hairy right now because I let Cassidy shave my legs for TikTok videos.
I'm hairy right now because I haven't bought a razor and I need to go buy some razors.
So yeah, the standards of how you look outside your home. Women have to look more put together. I would say in society standards, you don't have to, but
you definitely are judged. Like if I walked outside in a messy bun, no makeup, like PJ style clothes, people are gonna look at me and be like,
oh, she's a mess.
Yikes.
She doesn't have her life together.
Yeah. Even if I do. Well, whose life is actually together, you know? But like I'm a very clean person, like I'm not gonna say organized. We live a very like healthy lifestyle, but if I were to walk out in public like that, I would 100% be judged.
100%.
Yeah.
As men have lower standards, which is good for them. Happy for them. You know? Happy for you guys.
Jake basically wears like boardies. For shorts. We're not going to the beach or going swimming. He just wears them regularly. Nobody even thinks about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what?
Literally wears black shirt, black athletic shorts, and that's his outfit. Like, okay, cool.
Street does for like the same outfit.
Yeah. All right, so that was all my level 1. That was all my level 1 list. And yeah, pretty basic, you know, first world problems of being a woman.
Yeah, definitely first world problem.
But now, level 2. I have hormones and periods on that list.
Ugh.
Hormones, which we can't control and we have to live with. Periods, which we all have.
And we can't
Control.
do anything about. It's just It's our curse, quite literally.
It is our curse.
We have been cursed, and it feels like a curse.
Yeah, quite literally. Hormones? Oh my goodness. You know, as a teenager, your body is changing, and those hormones are coming, and you have your period, and you become a woman.
I would say, when it comes to puberty, like, guys think that they have it bad because, like, their voice changes and their balls drop and whatever. But, like, girls definitely have it worse because our hormones also change, and then we start bleeding every month for, like, 7 days straight. And it's not just bleeding, it's painful.
Yeah, cramps.
And you hate your life and you don't understand what the heck is going on, and then you start breaking out, and then you feel ugly, and then all the girls at school make fun of you, and then you feel even worse, and then the week is over and you feel like $1,000,000 again.
Your cycle is actually insane. Supposedly you like feel sexy in ovulation. Of course, it's because you want like a baby.
We want to have a baby.
You're a little more, you have a lot more energy, but then it's like your menstrual cycle comes around and you feel like you're dying. Not to be dramatic, hormones are crazy. A week before my period, I am not the same person. I don't even feel like myself. I feel like I spiral. My mental health declines. I feel like I'm depressed. I don't know. Like, something happens with my hormones where I actually am crazy, and then I feel so awful. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible wife. I'm going to be a terrible mother one day. And it's just like, guys.
I always know when Joy is going to be on her period because she's like, I just feel like I'm just like not a good person. I'm like, oh, she's coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're good. You're fine.
Yeah,
Give it a week. You'll feel like yourself again.
I literally don't feel like myself, and that's probably the worst part for me. It's my mental health during my cycle.
And here's the frustrating part about it all. Like, we technically don't have to feel all of these ways, but basically everybody's hormones get so thrown out of whack, so it causes us to feel
worse,
to get like horrible PMS symptoms, whereas there's like natural ways to actually help keep your hormones regulated through that time. But I just feel like that information, that knowledge isn't as easily like given or shared. Like if I went to a doctor because I was having the worst cramps. The doctor literally was like, if it means anything, like, this is a little sign of what birth is like. And I think I was 15 years old, and I was like,
oh geez,
so I don't want to have a baby.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But what did they do? Immediately put me on the pill. 10 years on the pill. Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. No, I heard a story that, like, one girl went to the doctor, obviously, because she's like, I'm having extreme cramps, like, this shouldn't be normal. And the doctor literally sent her home and said, take Advil or, like, ibuprofen. And she was like, wow, thank you. Like, this shouldn't be how it is. But, like, our food is filled with so many, like, chemicals. Cheese, dairy, it's filled with so many chemicals that causes our bodies to go through a lot of changes, a lot of imbalances. And
our water, honestly, our air, like, so many women have bad PMS symptoms, but like when you go to a doctor to like try to find relief or help, they're going to prescribe a pill and they're going to try to fill your body full of artificial hormones instead of giving you natural ways to balance your hormones so that your body can actually fix itself. So frustrating.
It is very frustrating. Oh, and then it's like products, tampons, pads, like that should all be free. Because
yes, it should.
Because it's like they price those so expensive. Like, and those are also filled with so many chemicals and bad things, and we're literally shoving them into our body.
Like, we're wondering why so many women are struggling with infertility. Like, today. It's literally because of that crap. Like, the things that are like tampons are soaked in and like full of and pads, and it's going right into like where your reproductive system is.
It's like if we want to go swimming, we have to have a tampon in.
Normal clothes, you gotta have a tampon in because it's gonna look like you're wearing a diaper if you don't.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. And the products that are like natural and actually good for you cost so much more.
Yeah.
Which in the long run, yes, it's so much better to invest in that. But it's just like, why is it like that? Why is the stuff that's so easily accessible, cheaper, going to cause more harm to my body, but the things that are good for me are so freaking expensive that it's like, can I actually afford that?
No. Most women are...
It is such a struggle.
We
Don't
could
even
talk
get me started.
more and more about our government, but we won't.
It should all be free. It should be covered by like insurance.
Yeah, maybe not free, but like insurance should cover that.
Because we didn't choose to bleed from our vaginas for days. Okay? We didn't choose to have this horrible pain and have literally the inside of our uterus coming out of our bodies. We didn't ask for that.
No, we didn't.
So the least you could do is provide the things to help us manage it.
Yeah. And it's a monthly thing. Monthly thing for like 4 to 7 days, depending on each woman. Each woman is different. Each woman has different pain. Each woman has heavier periods, lighter periods. Like, we are all different.
And don't get me started about your periods after you have a baby.
Ooh.
Horrible. Horrid,
Yikes.
horrid. Not to like scare anybody who's having a baby,
Yeah.
but buckle up, sister, cuz you thought they were bad before? Yikes. Get them diapers back out, girlfriend, because you're gonna need them for the first 2 periods you get back.
You know what? I think also on level 2 will be birth control. Birth
Yeah.
control is also full of hormones. I went on birth control and I had the worst experience.
I told her not to. I tried to tell her.
I dealt with
tried.
anxiety, but I have never had like straight up panic attacks where I felt like I was literally, oh my gosh. I don't even know how to explain how I felt on it because I just didn't feel like myself. My anxiety was heightened to the max. Like, we worked at the same school at one point, and I was on birth control, and I was literally going through it. Like, I could not
Rough.
stop crying.
She couldn't even get through the lunch period.
No, I
She
couldn't.
left me.
Yeah, that was tough. But I had the worst panic attacks on birth control, and I had to get off. I was on it for probably 3 months, and then I was like, I'm done. Because I started also breaking out. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
say birth control
Bad.
can help you get rid of acne, and there's so many like, positives to birth control. Obviously, like, you won't have a kid, but there's also that possibility you will have a kid. Like, it's not 100% gonna prevent anything, but ugh.
Yeah, I was on birth control for 10 years. By the time she got on it, I had already chose to get off of it because I have been doing a lot of research myself and was like, this is horrible for you.
Yeah.
And I was so thankful. Like, I felt more myself getting off of birth control. I actually didn't realize the mood swings and the anxiety and like the depression like that I had was caused from the birth control until I got off of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's such a better person. Like, I don't feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I don't feel crazy. And then she was like, I think I'm gonna get on birth control. And I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
But there's so much pressure to be on birth control. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
I do understand that.
you don't want to get pregnant. Like, just in case something happens, like, you don't want to get pregnant. And it's just like this whole thing of like, you need to be on birth control if you're in a relationship,
Yeah.
just in case. And I'm like, now that I'm married, I'm like, no, I can't do that again. Like, if I have a baby, God's plan. You know,
God's
God's
plan.
will. If we have a baby, we have
Yeah.
a baby.
I mean,
And-
hear me out. Pull out method, okay? I know so many people are like, it's so unreliable, but
it works.
if you have a guy who knows his body, you're gonna be fine. Like, the only reason it doesn't work is because the guy is not pulling out fast enough. Like, just yank it out of there, big dog. It ain't that hard. We did it for literally 2 years before we decided to have Joe. and started actually trying for a baby, and it worked.
I don't want to wait too long, but we're fine waiting a couple years so that we can travel, do whatever. But like, who knows? Maybe we might be pregnant at the same time.
Maybe we might be.
And Steph will absolutely hate that. Steph said if she gets married and we're pregnant, we're not allowed to be in the wedding.
Please.
Best believe, if I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be in that wedding regardless. So
Yeah, whether I'm in it or not, I will be there.
I will
and I will stand up there.
Yeah.
I will walk down the middle of that aisle.
Yep.
Before her in a white dress, big old belly,
Steph, you better watch out.
finger guns at Isaiah, and then I will go take my place. I'll like booty bump her sister out of the way and stand right there. Be like, all right, bring on the bride.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine?
We're actually gonna be the flower girls.
That'd be amazing, actually.
We're gonna lock the flower girls like in the room, and then we're gonna be out there throwing them.
Just see me shove a little kid to the side. Give me this. Take
Yeah.
the basket.
Steph, we have plans. If you want us there or not, we have
Okay,
plans.
but actually, we would be great flower girls.
We would be. This could be a vibe.
It could be cool. It could be good.
Just two pregnant women throwing flowers. Is
We could throw mini bottles.
that what you want, Steph?
She's not even engaged, guys.
No, she's not. I mean, she's been dating this man for a couple months.
They're gonna get married.
They
Calling
could-
it right now.
Yeah. We hope. This
I mean,
is
that's
it.
the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Actually, no pressure, Steph. No pressure at all.
So much pressure.
Okay, anyways,
Anyways.
let's move on. Level 3 is actually pregnancy, getting pregnant, being pregnant, giving birth, postpartum,
It's rough, people.
you know? And obviously I don't have a kid, so I can't say much about it, but I have watched Cassidy from start to now, so I've gotten to witness it, and she has actually prepared me in many ways to be a mother. So thank you, Cassidy, for that.
I do my best.
All right, so let's talk about it. Getting pregnant.
Okay, one thing I wish people talked about more, they do not talk about this. It is not a one and done kind of situation, y'all. Like, apparently, on average, it takes 6 to 8 months to get pregnant. Like, that's average.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that. It took us, I think, 3 or 4 months to get pregnant with Joe, trying, and I was like, I'm infertile. I don't know what's going on. I can never have a baby.
Yeah.
I remember having a mental breakdown in our bedroom and was like, God has removed his hand of blessing from my womb. The drama, I understand, but it turns out I was
Yeah.
actually pregnant and I didn't know.
Well, and it is a scary thing because I feel like when infertility comes up, it's like the first thing people think is like, oh, it's the woman's fault. Like, she's infertile. It's her eggs. It's her body. Like, it's her fault she can't get pregnant. Mm-hmm. When
Men have just as much to play. Also, I heard that men's sperm also plays a huge role in like your placenta and like how healthy it is. So
wait, did I also hear that it has something to do with the birth too? Like how well you're pregnant? Oh, your morning sickness?
oh yeah, I think I told you that.
Yeah, I think she told me that.
Yeah, so I also saw another video where it was saying like a really healthy sperm will have like higher HGC levels, and when you have higher HGC levels, you tend to feel a little bit more sick. Like that's what causes like the nausea and stuff, I do believe. And so the men's sperm actually plays a huge role in that. I think that's right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anyways, the point is
Men really do contribute
a lot.
a lot more than society makes it seem.
Yeah. Society makes it seem like it's all on the women, and it's really not. And that's sad because then if it's like if we're struggling to have a baby, it feels like it's all your fault because you're
Yeah.
carrying the in pregnancy. Like I remember like Cassidy just being so stressed about like, oh my gosh, like this baby, if something happens to it, it's going to be my fault because I'm carrying the baby. I'm growing it. Like if we lose it, it's my fault.
Okay, so I saw this reel on Instagram and it described literally exactly how I felt from from pregnancy to birth to literally every moment since. It says, first you fear a chemical pregnancy, then a miscarriage, then the anatomy scan, then the birth. You make it through what you thought was the hardest part because you're holding your perfect baby, but then you fear RSV, bullies, injuries, reckless drivers, strangers. The list goes on and on. The hardest part about motherhood is that your entire heart now lives outside your body, and you can't protect it from everything no matter how hard you try. That literally describes perfectly how I felt. From the moment that I knew I was pregnant, I was so afraid of miscarrying. I was like, I don't know why. It was just, I was so afraid. And then, like, every anatomy scan that you have, it's like, there's this fear because it's like, what if we find out, like, my child only has 3 toes or something's severely wrong, or it's just these fears that you have. And then you think, oh my gosh, I can't wait for her to be here, because as soon as she's here, it's like, I'll have her.
Yeah.
But then as soon as she's here, now you have a whole new set of fears. And so, and I personally did struggle with postpartum anxiety. So honestly, like, people holding her gave me anxiety, and like just having to leave her with people. Like, so many people would encourage me, like, just get out of the house, like, even if it's for an hour. And I was like, I don't want to leave my child. Like, yeah. And it's not that I didn't trust people, because I did, but I still had this anxiety of like, oh, what if she needs something and they can't help her? Like, what if she feels like I've abandoned her for that hour? And it's just like all of these little fears. But I don't know. It really is like your heart outside of your body, and you can't protect it from everything. And like, with that knowledge, like, there's always going to be some sort of like anxiety and fear attached to it. But I think that's when you just have to learn to release that and give her to God. Like, that's what I've had to do. Just like give her to God and trust that He gave us this beautiful gift and that He has a beautiful plan for her life, no matter what that looks like. And me and Jacob even talked about, like, what if we lost her? Like, what would that look like? And for me, I don't even want to think about that, because I can't imagine it. But I do know that if a tragedy like that were to happen, like, we would get through it, because like, we will be able to rely and lean on God.
Yeah.
But that really would be like probably worst case scenario.
That would be worst case scenario. And that is scary, and having a kid is a lot of responsibility, but it's also a huge blessing. And also, like, another thing I've thought of is, like, it's crazy how you can, like, be not the perfect parent, but like, you can raise them well, but you don't know how they're gonna like be as adults. And I think that's also kind of scary, because it's like,
because at the end of the day, it's like, she has free will. So like, me and Jake can, try to raise her and lead her and guide her in the best way that we can. But at the end of the day, when she becomes an adult and can make her own choices and decisions, that's exactly what she's going to do. Yeah. She's going to make her own choices and decisions. We just hope and pray that we've done a good enough job that she makes good choices and decisions.
That's where you also have to just, like, give it to God. And be like, you got a plan for this, and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So, I would say, like, I'm not scared to be pregnant, or like, literally, I'm not scared to be pregnant or have a baby. Actually, birth is kind of scary, because everybody's birth story is different, and who knows what will happen. But
mine wasn't the best example.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. But but I'm more scared for, like, hormonally and mentally how I will be, because of how, like, my period goes. So I'm more nervous about that, if I'm just spiraling for 10 months, or however my body reacts, I'm nervous for. But also morning sickness, I'm nervous for. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, I was completely fine, and then other people are like, dude, I could not get out of bed for like a month.
Yeah. I think, like, I just know my personal experience. For me, I don't know why, but, like, I can really, like, go through any sickness except being nauseous. I don't know why, but if I'm nauseous, just start making my casket, because I'm not going to make it. And I was actually really nervous about that with being pregnant, because I'm like, I can't be nauseous. Like, I can't handle it. Like, I'll die.
Right.
And I was probably nauseous for, I think, like 12 weeks. I never threw up. I would like refuse to throw up. I don't care. Like, even if I have like food poisoning, I will literally fight it until the very end. I don't know why I'm like that. I hate that I'm like that, though.
That makes it worse.
I know.
You gotta throw up to get out of it.
But like, also, it's like such a mental game because I'll even tell myself like, you gotta throw up. Just make yourself throw up and you'll feel better. And I literally can't. I've shoved my fingers down my throat to try, and I can't. Like, it's that bad. So I never ended up actually throwing up. But when I say I was nauseous, like, every day, the whole day. It's not the morning.
Yeah.
That's a lie. It's all day long. And then people are like, but you gotta eat something. And I'm like, all right, Susie, you eat something when you feel like you're gonna throw everything up, and you tell me how well it goes.
That's the last thing you want to do.
Plus, like, I had horrible food aversion, so like, on top of like being nauseous, nothing sounded good. Like, the thought of food made me ill. So it's like, not only do I feel nauseous that I can't eat anything, the thought of eating something made me feel nauseous.
Ew.
So it was honestly just like this horrible, it was rough. I actually lost like 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
During those 12 weeks. But once the second trimester hit, we were good and we were eating and we felt good. I think emotionally in the very beginning, like, my hormones kind of went crazy there for a little bit, like I was on my period. I actually thought I was about to start my period. Yeah. I had a lot of PMS symptoms, but I didn't. But I think, honestly, like, somewhere in there, I leveled out for a while. Mm-hmm. And then after having Joe, I will say this is, like, one of my biggest takes. Like, this is one of my biggest hear me outs. Your partner, spouse, husband, whatever, plays a huge role, I think, in the postpartum. Like, whether you have a good support team or not. If you have a good support team, I think it makes the postpartum so much better and easier because you're not trying to do everything on your own. We had a great support system. We had a good village around us. And, like, that, I think, was probably, like, my saving grace. Postpartum. And Jake did a great job. Like, I took care of the baby and Jake took care of me. And because of that, I didn't get postpartum depression. I did get postpartum anxiety. I did get that. But like, I never got depressed. I was able to shower every day. I was able to take care of myself. I was able to rest. And even today, like, Jake gets up with Joe most mornings since she still wakes up at night. It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Husbands, get it together, guys.
Get it together. Ooh, you know, I think those were all good points. And, like, once that happens for me, I will be so very surrounded by so much support.
Plus, I think Jack will be very hands-on.
Oh, he loves children. He will be... I have no worries that he's going to be a great father. Like, I know that he'll genuinely, like, want to be with our kids. He'll want to hold them. He'll want to take care of them. He'll want to feed them. Like, he will just be so hands-on. Like, I think he was created to be a father. Like, I think that's what God made for him.
We love that.
So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. And, yeah, so very excited. But also one thing I was thinking of is my body is so prone to gaining weight that when I'm pregnant, I'm scared I'm just going to be fat. Like an Oompa Loompa. I am so scared of gaining that weight and, like, not being able to lose it.
I think it's so hard because everybody's bodies are different. So, like, unfortunately, some women do gain a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And doctors, honestly, are not helpful because they're so rude. They're like, you really need to watch your weight. And you're like, I'm growing a child. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, like, it's important to be active and don't treat it as like, oh, I'm eating for 2. It's like, no, you're still eating for 1. You're still eating for yourself. But make sure that you're eating good things to support the baby growing. Yeah. But I also had to remind myself because I did technically gain more than, like, what you're supposed to. I gained over 30 pounds.
That's
but
not even bad though, because it's like I've heard stories of like, oh, I gained 100 pounds, and I'm like, you did what?
yeah. Well, honestly though, too, a lot of it at the very end
Oh yeah.
is just like water retention. You're just swollen. Like
Yeah.
that's what a lot of it is too. Like at the very end you gain, I think, your most. But again, as long as you're active, as long as you're being smart about it, like I definitely gave into a lot of my cravings. I'm not even gonna lie. But I wasn't just eating garbage the whole time. Like
Yeah.
I was still making sure I was putting good things
You're
and healthy
still
things into my body.
Stewarding your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know some people kind of are just like, oh, this is my excuse to eat whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. It's like, if you have that mindset, yeah, you're probably going to gain like 50 to 60 pounds.
Yeah.
But I also had to tell myself too, it's like my body, because working out and still eating like relatively healthy and good, I mean, I still gained over 30 pounds.
Yeah.
It might have been close to 40. I can't remember. But I had to tell myself, you know, I was like, my body's keeping what it needs to keep for this baby. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to let it do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to try to work out to lose weight because that's just stupid.
No.
Like, I'm working out just to stay healthy, to stay fit for the baby
Yeah.
and for myself. And so that I could, you know, in theory, have like an easier, better labor and delivery, which that didn't happen, but that's fine. But yeah, just honestly, like, just be smart about it, but also know that like if you gain more weight than you wanted in your head, like your body's taking what it needs to take. Not everybody just sheds it off, but I think postpartum, one thing that helped me lose a lot of weight was I walked every single day. Mm-hmm. And I genuinely think that helped.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Cassidy, she was, I mean, you still are very petite, but I'm saying like before getting pregnant, she was very petite, very small, like the cutest little pregnant lady until
I did blow up.
like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
She was like, oof, she was
massive.
pregnant.
And then it was also literally this time of year, so it was summer and it was
So hot.
and I was just swollen everywhere.
Yeah.
Like my face was puffy, everything about my body was super puffy. I never got like horrible kinkles though.
No. You looked great for being pregnant. Like, you were so cute, and yeah, you were swollen, but we also live in the South, and it's
Everybody gets swollen at the end. Like there is no getting out of that. Like
oh, yeah, no.
no matter what you do. Your face is going to get fat. Your nose is going to get bigger. Your mouth is going to get bigger. Your ankles are going to swell. Like, it's just a part of pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I had horrible body dysmorphia, like, being pregnant. Like, I had the worst body image because, of course, like, I've been so small my whole life. So watching my body just get massive caused me to have so many insecurities. And now looking back, I wish I would have just embraced it.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I would have wore the tight little dresses sooner and just, like, been happy instead of, like, being so insecure. Because it's like, Cassie, you're freaking pregnant.
It's a beautiful thing. No.
Everybody looks like this.
From seeing her from start to finish, like, it gave me a sense of, like, God is so good, and he thinks of every little detail. Like, watching you be pregnant, be a mom, it just like made me so excited for that season of my life, because I was like, this is such a beautiful thing. It's a blessing. Like, I got to hear everything that happened at her doctor's appointments, and I got to hear like how she was doing, and just like the whole process. I was like, this is crazy. She's like, yeah, the baby is like a size of a cucumber or like a size of a squash, and I'm like, that is insane. So it was just like, it was a very beautiful thing to witness, because I was like, holy crap, like, God did that, and he is so good, and like, he loves us so much that he thought of every little detail. And so that just gave me like a bigger appreciation for like just God in general, and like just being able to witness that was just really beautiful. But back to being talking about like your postpartum body, like you went down like pretty fast, and like she's back to looking good, her normal weight. And
yeah, I actually am technically less than what I was pre-pregnancy, but that's only because
that was muscle.
Yeah, I actually had a ton of muscle before I got pregnant, I was weightlifting and I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
And I had gained quite a bit of muscle, so I was closer to about the 130 mark. And now I lost so much of that muscle at the very end of pregnancy and then postpartum. Because I had a C-section, it took me a lot longer to recover to be able to get back into working out. And let's just be so for real. Joe's 10 months old, and the amount of times I've worked out, I can count on my hand.
Having a baby, no. Chasing your baby around, like carrying them, that's a workout in itself.
Yeah, it's a lot. But, yeah, I did end up losing the weight. It does take longer than you think, because even at your wedding, when I look back at it, I'm like, oy,
No.
gas, yikes.
She was 1 month postpartum when Jack and I got married. So it's like, they had a 1-month-old at our wedding, and you looked great, in my opinion.
I know everybody says that, but like looking at myself, I'm like, but I also have to remember, I was only a month postpartum.
Yeah,
and so
literally.
it's like, but I think that needs to be talked about more too. It's like, your body, it takes time. Like, it took 9 months to get there. As soon as the baby pops out, it's not immediately going back to normal. Like, it does take a long time. So you need to have grace for that. I think my body finally kind of felt back to its normal size. I think the first time I could, like, get into my jeans and buckle them, I was about 3 months postpartum, maybe 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're in our jeans.
Yeah.
So, and, like, I will say, your body as a whole, you are going to change completely. Like, and I know there's like so many people say all the time, it's like, people who knew me before I was a mom have no idea who I am now. Like, you are going to meet a whole new version of me.
Yeah.
And it really is so true in like a way, because it's like, I feel, I don't know, like very different since becoming a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still me. Like, I'm still Cass.
Oh, I know it changed. Honestly, like, you being nurturing. Like, before...
I was
knowing
cold.
you,
I had a heart of stone.
She didn't really know how to, like, handle people's emotions, I guess, would you say?
Yeah. I also, like, just wasn't an emotional person.
Yeah.
Yeah, when people were emotional, it made me super awkward. Like, it made me uncomfortable.
Yes, and I'm an emotional
best friends
person,
with a very emotional person.
But yeah, I would say, like, and now, in my opinion, like, watching you, you're very, like, nurturing and loving, and just, like, not that you weren't loving before, but it's just,
I get what you're saying, yeah.
completely, like,
It's different. Yeah.
and it's cool to see, like, your best friend change in that way, and, like, just be able to see that first-handed, you know?
Yeah. I also, when people are like, oh, your, like, motherly instincts will just kick in, and you're like, I don't have motherly instincts. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna fail. I don't know. I know some people will say, like, you don't have motherly instincts, but I disagree with that, because when I had Joe, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, literally no idea. Like, they just send you home with a kid, and you're kind of like,
Oh
what
my
do we
gosh.
do? Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, that thought came into my mind, and I looked at Jake, and I was like, wait, what now? And we're like, well, just figure it out. But, like, you really do have motherly instincts, and they really do, like, snap into place when you bring that baby home.
Motherhood is crazy.
It is crazy.
I know we bounced around a lot, but the last thing let's talk about is, like, the actual birth and the struggles of being a woman having birth. Because I've heard so many good stories of, like, oh, I did a couple pushes, the baby came out just like that. And then there's other horror stories where it's like, oh, the baby was upside down, the baby was breech, like, we had to go do a C-section, like, I almost died, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my gosh, that is scary.
Yeah. I think birth can definitely be very scary. I knew, my whole pregnancy, I told myself, like, I'm going to be very open-minded, because you never know what's going to happen. You just don't know. Like, you obviously want to prepare and, like, believe for best case scenario, but you need to be prepared for, like, worst case scenario too.
Yeah.
And so, like, I literally, like, my birth plan was don't die. Like, just don't die. Like, that's the goal. And so, don't die, baby, don't die. Like, everybody live. Like, that was my birth plan. And it's like, of course, like, I wanted to push for as long as possible. I wanted to... I didn't know if I was going to get the epidural or not. I did get the epidural.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think it's so important going in with an open mind. It's good to have a birth plan. It's good to know what you want. But also remember that, like, you cannot control that situation. So, like, just be open-minded and hold everything with an open hand, basically, because you just don't know. And for me, Joe was a big baby. She was a little cricket, and I think she was sunny side. So we did not push her out as much as I wanted to. And I also labored for a very long time. Thank you, Lord, for that epidural, because I wouldn't have survived, you guys. That would have been rough.
Yeah.
Basically, like, labored for 40 hours and then pushed for 2 and was just
exhausted,
spent by that point. And we ended up doing a C-section. And it wasn't an emergency C-section. The midwife was like, we can keep pushing. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there's legitimately no way.
Yeah.
So, had the C-section. My doctor actually ended up telling me there was literally no way you were going to push this baby out. But they didn't know that until they did the C-section. So, yeah. My birth was, I think, more on the scale of, like, worst case scenario. It wasn't worst case scenario because it wasn't an emergency. I, again, labored for 2 days and then pushed and then the whole ordeal. So I was so tired. I had no food, no sleep, and now I have a baby.
Yeah.
So that was so rough. I think everybody's story is different. One of my good friends, she went in, was 9 centimeters dilated, I think pushed for 30 minutes, had her baby. Incredible. Yeah. Did it natural, nothing. One of our other friends had a very similar story to me, but she just didn't dilate fully. She, like, stopped dilating, and then they ended up having to be like, we need to talk about a C-section, and she had to get a C-section. So, like, everybody's different. And it's so easy for us, like, when you have to get a C-section, it's so easy to look at your body and be like, it failed me, whatever. Like, why couldn't I have my baby the way that it was supposed to? What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But, and I definitely had those thoughts for a little bit, but I just had to remind myself, like, there's nothing I could do to control that. I went through my pregnancy. I did everything I could. I had a very healthy baby. She was healthy the entire time. And yeah, I couldn't physically deliver her, but, like, at the end of the day, all that mattered was I have a healthy baby. I'm a healthy mom. We're going to recover from this, and it is what it is. In that sense, I am thankful for modern medicine because we would have died.
I couldn't. I can't imagine, like, some things. Actually, you know what? Women are so strong, and the women who, like, literally do at-home births, like,
I know.
Good for you.
I know.
Because I don't think I mean, I could do that. But I honestly don't want to because, like, you never know what's going to happen. And it's like, it could be something like that where Cassidy tried to do a home birth and then she couldn't have the baby. And so it's like something so, I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't want to take the risk of something going wrong and then,
Yeah, I do know quite a few people who've done home births, and I'm like, you guys are incredible women.
Yeah, literally.
The women who don't do epidurals, incredible. At the end of mine, my epidural wore off, and I didn't have any pain medicine, so I felt everything at the very end when I was 10 centimeters dilated and pushing.
Yeah.
And it was excruciatingly painful. Like, I don't have words to describe it. Like, couldn't breathe. The pain was so bad. It was just painful. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Going the entire time up until that, feeling the contractions is wild to me. Like, how some women do that. But also, they're usually not laboring for 40 hours. So, there's that.
So, more of the story. Women are amazing.
Yeah.
Women are strong. Women are beautiful. And it's just like our bodies can do crazy things. And at the end of the day, wow. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, yeah. It's amazing. When you think about, like, the fact that a little egg and a sperm collide and it grows a living being inside of your body in 9 months and then exits out your body, it's just wild.
It is
Like,
wild.
to me, that's so mind-boggling that it's like, oh my gosh, like, I grew a brain and lungs.
Bones.
Like,
Yeah.
all inside of my body. It, like you were saying earlier, like, it gave me such, like, a awe and appreciation for God, because it's like the way that he designed everything so, like, intricately that, like, our bodies are capable of that. And then hormones are released after birth to trigger milk production to feed the baby.
Yeah.
Like, and then not only that, but, like, if we dove into breast milk, which we won't, everything that breast milk has, like, it has everything that your baby needs. Like, from the colostrum in the very beginning to your milk literally changing as your baby grows older, and literally responds to your baby's saliva to give the baby exactly what it needs. Like, if the baby is sick, my breast milk will create antibodies for that to help the baby recover faster. If I'm sick, my breast milk is creating antibodies for that so that the baby doesn't get sick. It's so
It's
crazy to me.
It's crazy that God designed every bit of your body to have a purpose. And it's just crazy. Like, wow.
Yeah,
God is so
it's
good.
amazing. It's like, it's literally a miracle. Like, if you want to see a miracle every single day, childbirth is a miracle. Crazy. So,
Have
babies, guys.
men, that is the struggles of being a woman. Now, to end the episode, we're gonna do a little, like, favorites of the week, favorites about yourself, and favorites about the other person.
Favorite of the week. We took Joe to the pool for the first time. She loved it. And so that was so fun
That was
to see
fun.
her. Favorite thing about myself
Right
this week right now?
Yeah.
Probably, like, my motivation right now. Just to, like, get things done.
That's good.
That's my favorite thing about myself right now. My favorite thing about Julia is her positivity. That's my favorite thing about her right now. Whenever I feel like I'm going crazy and she's around, she's like, it's gonna be a good day. Everything's fine. Nobody's dead. I'm like, you're right.
I do my best, you know? My favorite thing of the week, Jack has really encouraged me to get ahead of my YouTube videos and just, like, have videos in advance. So I have all my videos ready to be uploaded for June, and I have a list of videos I want to do for July. So I'm getting ahead because we have a lot of traveling. So that's my favorite thing of the week, is that I am prepared and ready. And then my favorite thing about myself is that I am going to start my period next week, and I have not spiraled yet.
We love that for you.
So I've been trying to stay in the Word every day, and I think that honestly helps my mental health a lot.
It definitely does.
So I've been consistently in the Word. My favorite thing about Cassidy, oh, sweet Cassidy. You know, always my favorite thing is just, like, her personality, where it's just like, anytime I'm with her, it's just like we can make anything funny. Like, anything is funny. We are filming today, and I just always have a good time with her. So literally, anytime I'm with Cassidy, I know it's going to be fun. That's my favorite thing.
Because I'm a good time.
She's a good time all the time.
Okay.
And that concludes episode 2 of Hear Us Out. So come back next month for episode 3. Bye.